with Brennan Mejia, Power Ranger extraordinaire, the Red Ranger from Dino Charge. How are you doing, Brennan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you guys doing today?
Fabulous. No complaints.
Thumbs up. Fabulous. Got it. Right. Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I want to say anything.
I was curious if Dave was going to talk before me. We always speak at the same time, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a preemptive thumbs up just in case.
Charades this round.
Just in case I ruined it with my voice.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're kind of twins. We're like Danny DeVito and Arnold. You can pick who's who.
So I just need to ask one of you. I don't need to ask both of you the questions.
I'm kind of both. I'm tall like Arnold, but I'm round like DeVito. So I don't know what you are, Justin. You're
sure.
You're the two good parts there. You're the smart and brawn.
There you go. Perfect.
So thanks for joining us, Brennan. We are in Star Wars week. Yesterday was May the 4th. Today is Revenge of the 5th. We're all big Star Wars fans. How about yourself? Are you a big Star Wars guy?
Yeah, I grew up watching the movies. Obviously, by the time I saw episode 3, 4, 5, like they were re-released because I wasn't really alive when they first came out. So I played Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't beaten it yet, but working on that between fitness and school. And, just every day I train to be a Jedi mentally in my life when I do handstands, because I got to use the Force like Luke did in his Yoda training when he did that one-arm handstand. So,
How's that working out for you? When your significant other walks by, are you just like, don't worry, it's a Jedi thing?
Yeah, well, thankfully, my significant other is also a circus performer, so she expects such things from me.
Nice. I actually read about that. So you did circus performing in Redlands, California, is that correct?
Yes, and that's where we met. So we were taking classes together, and we're acro partners, and then fell in love and blah 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 blah.
Nice. Now, like when you're just walking to the store and you see something, you're like, dude, I could do a pretty sweet loop-de-loop off of that pole over there.
Oh, totally. Loop-de-loops all the time. Like, that is my jam. I'm like, loop to that loop. Yes, exactly.
And you're just challenging each other like, I could do 2 loops. You can only do 1 loop.
Pretty much. I was actually hand balancing right before this started. So
oh, man.
I pretty much, circus is my superpower.
Oh, nice.
I was doing something similar. I was microwaving a Hot Pocket and eating that. So,
like 50 years ago, I don't know how long microwaves came out. That's pretty impressive technology, actually. So
yeah, no kidding.
You
did some hardcore parkour to get to the kitchen, though.
I did, yeah. I went through the hallway, through the kitchen. I read a fun stat that microwaves use 99% of their power in the standby mode, only 1% when they're actually cooking. So I know that's what the people are here for. They're here for the microwave fact. But, I thought it was interesting. So I thought everyone else might think it's interesting.
Sure. Science, David. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you're learning things. I'm down.
Hey, so you mentioned playing Last Order. Is there? Are you an avid gamer? Do you play a lot of games, or is it just because that one caught your eye?
Honestly, overall, I'm more a Nintendo gamer. I had PS2. I never had a 3 or a 4, but the Spider-Man game and a lot of the other exclusives made me think I might get a PlayStation 5 this next console generation. But I play Halo with a lot of my friends, and then I played Gears for a bit, but Super Smash Brothers, Breath of the Wild, Fire Emblem. So more Nintendo games at the end of the day. But Fallen Order was a gift for Christmas. So
really that's interesting because you are in a series called Modern War Dudes.
Yeah.
Do you have any Call of Duty experience prior to that series?
I played Modern Warfare 2 and Ghosts, but I never really got into the other ones. I felt like it was just the same game over and over and over and over a lot of the times,
Sure.
I had a lot of friends who were like, get Warzone, but now I'm in school again during this whole lockdown thing, so I'm just like, I don't have time. But maybe one day I'll jump back in and see what's new, 10 iterations later.
Sure. New in time just for remasters and remakes, and it's
pretty much.
Honestly, it's a guilty pleasure for a lot of us, and even though I'm terrible, I can't stop playing it. Won't stop.
The reason I like Halo more than Call of Duty is because I can just jump into a match and we're all like the same, it's not like, oh, they have 50 better perks than me or whatever because they played longer. Like, I can't keep up with someone who's put more time in. I want us to be equal at the starting point, and then if you're just better because you're skill, by all means, beat me.
Did you used to do like LAN parties when you were in college where you'd hook up a bunch of Xboxes and play?
Xbox, play Halo. Yep, and Pokemon on Game Boy Advances and SP, all that jazz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. So we're talking Star Wars a little bit today. So when did your love for Star Wars begin?
I don't even know again how old I was, but whenever the first or third movie, whatever you want to call it, when Luke Skywalker was introduced on screen, Mark Hamill, that time when I saw him, and that was pretty much it. You know, it was like, again, normal level of this is awesome. It's kind of like a gateway into the whole space themed. Like Power Rangers was the gateway into superheroes for me, which was cool, like becoming one. But Star Wars was the gateway into like spacey kind of adventures that makes you want to think outside of just Earth.
Nice. And now, were you into the toys, or is that something you got as a kid? And do you continue as an adult? Do you collect anything right now?
I mean, I brought this. I have one of those FX lightsabers.
Oh, nice.
So I know you can get like cooler versions now at Disneyland, or you could when Disneyland was open. But I got this back in the day, so I was a Jedi for Halloween a couple of times.
Nice. We actually had an appointment, David and I, to build lightsabers, but due to quarantine, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Sad panda.
Aww.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Next time.
Yeah. That's all.
So what color lightsaber did you want?
Oh man. Well, in a perfect world, if I could have any color lightsaber, it'd probably be orange. Orange is my jam. But
sure.
Strange. I'm pretty partial to the green because, like you, Luke Skywalker is kind of the man. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I did build one at Disneyland, and so mine is purple, and I also have a red and green crystal. So, I was fortunate enough to go on before Disneyland closed.
Definitely, that's cool. That's cool.
I was one of the chosen few.
Yeah.
You know, someone has to be the chosen one. Right. It's Harry Potter. It's you. I mean, who else is it?
It's got Neo. I think it's like
a couple
sliding scale.
It's an elite group. So.
Right.
And I'm proud to be one of them.
Well, thank you for your elite service.
Yes.
Well, here's a fun question for you. You win the Millennium Falcon in a high stake card game. You take it on its maiden voyage. What real life person is your co-pilot? What are you listening to on your Millennium Falcon radio? And what are your go-to space snacks? So,
co-pilot Steven Lunsford. I don't know if you guys know him. He was in Teen Wolf, and him and I actually did a lot of spoofs on YouTube back in the day for like Twilight. I played Jacob Black, and he was Edward Collins. He also was the Red Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, which was like another kind of Power Ranger-ish kind of show. So him for sure. Like he's the one I play Halo with a lot, and we actually really kind of became friends over Halo online. So we're both into pop culture and all things geeky and cool. But in regards to, it was snacks. What was the other question?
Snacks and what you're listening to. What tunes you
Hooked
rocking?
on a Feeling. I know it's Guardians of the Galaxy, but like that song is connected to Steven. And just when you said co-pilot, Steven came up, and that song kind of is packaged with him, package deal. Snack-wise, probably protein bars because, fitness. So.
Yeah.
I like to travel the galaxy, but I want to stay trim. I don't want to blow up. You want to stay a Han and not a Jabba.
When you're in space, there's less, like gravitational force on you, so you're going to lose muscle mass. You got to keep it up with some protein. Just thinking ahead.
Yeah. Dave, I could even carry you in space. We could reenact Dirty Dancing, and I can do the lift, and it would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would treasure that, Justin.
let's make it happen, man.
Yeah. All right. Let's start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Kickstarter. See if we get our own private little spaceship launch just for this moment.
Just for this. As soon as it's done, I want to land. I don't want any other pesky space travel.
No dilly dallying. It's too dangerous and cold.
Yeah, there'll be no dilly or dallying.
Maybe some loop-de-loops.
There you go.
So, we had a couple of rapid fire questions. It'd be great if you just top of your head, as first thing that comes to your mind. No need to put too much thought into it. Are you ready?
Ready. Sorry.
All right.
A Power Ranger reflex because in the show I say that when anyway, go on.
That's all right. All right. So where do we start? Jedi or Sith?
Jedi.
Favorite Jedi?
Ooh, Luke.
Favorite Sith?
Darth Maul.
Favorite vehicle?
Vehicle like Star Wars vehicle?
Star Wars vehicle.
What was it that Luke used on the sand glider thing in episode 3?
Land speeder?
Yeah, land speeder. That's I had a toy of that, and it was legit. So.
Perfect. Okay. From Star Wars, Death Sticks or blue milk?
Blue milk. I've had it at Disneyland. Yeah.
right from the source, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've tried it.
Special editions or theatrical releases?
Theatrical release. It's the group energy,
Okay. Person you would most like to marry from Star Wars?
Because I'm already married, I'm just going to let that one slide.
It's always smart. Person you'd like to kill from Star Wars?
I mean, I'm just not that violent. I don't know. It'd be in self-defense. So whoever attacked me, them. So,
All right. What color would your lightsaber be?
Blue's my favorite color, despite being the Red Ranger. So blue.
All right. Ewoks, adorable or deplorable?
50-50.
Depends on the day. Favorite line from any Star Wars film?
May the Force be with you, because it reminds me of May the Power protect you, which is like the Power Ranger riff of that a little bit. So
Sure.
Nice. Saddest Order 66 death on screen?
Well, okay, they showed it was going to the younglings. Like, they didn't show the younglings dying, but I'm gonna go with that.
That's
my
why
heart saw it in my brain. So
Sure. I thought that would be a cop-out. That's why I said on screen.
yes, but no,
You found a hack around it. That's okay.
Yeah, I did.
I'll appreciate that.
You find the way to make the questions work for you.
Nice. You put the system on trial.
Yes.
Right.
So now, outside of Star Wars, you show us your lightsaber. What do you geek out about? Is there something that you collect currently?
Not currently. I mean, I did go to Star Wars Land a handful of times, and I do want to have a lightsaber built. But since I already have one, it's kind of like justifying, do I need one that changes colors of different crystals? And the inside little boy in me says, yes, we do. And my wife is like, no, you don't. So fighting
Yeah, the struggle is real. The answer is always yes, you do. But,
but
being married myself, I understand that.
Yeah, well, I have one of those Sphero BB-8s as well.
Oh, yeah.
That you can, I forgot I had that, but that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Cool. Now, I saw a pretty fun... Well, I saw something on the internet, and now, because it's on the internet, we know it's true, right? That's the way it works.
Yeah, I mean...
But according to your IMDb page, it says that you can say anything in English backwards. Is that correct?
As long as I can spell it, but yes.
Nice. So, like, if I asked you to say Power Rangers backwards, you could do it.
Sregnar Ruup.
Rad. my name is Nitsuj, and that doesn't sound terribly impressive.
Nitsuj Rednevek. Yep,
there you go. That sounds like a Star Wars character, Dave. We could totally just...
Speaking of Star Wars, so, like, again, my brain has problems, and I do things backwards a lot, just kind of, like, passively. So, like, at one point, I've gone through the days of the week backwards, and Wednesday backwards sounds legit like a Jedi name. Like, Yad Sendu sounds like Mace Windu's kid.
Totally.
Right? I'm just saying.
No, that's great.
That would be my Jedi name, Yad Sendu.
I mean, forget the fitness and the acrobatics. I think this is your superpower. This is what you were put on Earth to do.
On the back of my shirt. No.
Right.
Does everyone harass you to say things backwards now?
Oh my gosh! When before pre-pandemic, pre-apocalypse, I'd speak at schools occasionally and stuff, and someone would be like, "You were on iCarly and you spoke backwards. Can you actually do it?" And then, we'd have a million kids ask me, "Say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious." Like, that one's always a favorite, or their name, or their school name, or something like that. And yes, it's Siokata Illa Epsic. It's like I feel like I posted before you asked. So.
we didn't want to be those people.
Oh, yes, you did. You did.
I did, but I'm glad you volunteered. And I didn't have
You're welcome.
So now we're in the clear, Dave. It's okay.
Yeah.
You are.
All right.
Yes, you're welcome.
No, that's great. And you're also very passionate about fitness. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey in regards to your education on physical health and the different ways you educate others on personal care and fitness?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I grew up as in a youth circus, like elementary school and then high school, and then I came back to it when I graduated. And basically, it just gave me a love for performing as well as fitness. Like, I had a reason to work out versus I got to go to the gym and do 10 sets of bench press. Like, I would do handstands and handstand push-ups and things like that, or tumbling for leg day or whatever. And I ended up getting certified in personal training as a sports nutritionist, as a yoga instructor, got my degree in kinesiology. And then now I just continue to teach it. I teach online as well through brennanmejia.com. Pre-pandemic, I trained some people in person, and I just love it. I love helping people. Like, I do some fitness panels when I go to conventions, or used to go to conventions, whatever. And just helping people learn, like, it's not rocket science. It's a lot of just being consistent. So people are like, well, how do you do it? It's like, rely on discipline, not motivation. Because some days you're going to wake up and the motivation's not going to be there. But if you worked on the muscle that's disciplined, you'll do it anyway because you've made it a habit.
Sure. Now, what's a cheat day like for you? Is it going crazy with a whole cake all to yourself, or is it maybe 2 protein bars instead of just 1?
Well, shoot, making me divulge all my secrets. Now, I don't actually do the cheat day thing myself. I do in moderation, like every day. So at the end of the day, I'll usually have like a small bowl of ice cream or maybe a cookie or something, just because it keeps me sane versus, oh, it's now my cheat day and I'm going to overeat way more than I burned off the entire week in 10 seconds. So I try not, like some people that works for, I'm not saying it's wrong, but for my own mentality, it's better if I just spread it out versus all at once.
Sure. As someone that can eat like a whole box of Girl Scout cookies in like 2 minutes, I can agree it's better to spread it out instead of just, going for it. I see that inspiration through perspiration is sort of your mantra. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I've read that.
Yeah.
Now,
so that basically...
no, I was just going to say, like, as Dave and I go to conventions on a regular basis, and I'd say for the last 20 years going to conventions, I can identify that there are two types of perspiration. There's your good perspiration and then the bad perspiration.
Okay,
and I think I've only gotten away. I think I've only gotten a whiff of
Proper hygiene is still worked in there. It's in the fine print.
Okay, there's a little asterisk.
Yeah. What I meant by that, there's an exception to every rule, is inspiring people through fitness. Essentially, like, fitness makes you perspire 9 times out of 10, or you're not really working that hard if you're not sweating a little bit, unless you're like working out in Antarctica or something. So just the idea that let's inspire people through the way we train, which is why I like training circus skills, because when I do like a one-arm handstand, people are like, wow, that looks incredible. How does he make it look so easy or whatever? And it's not easy, but it inspires them, hopefully, to want to work on some kind of fitness skill themselves versus I'm just going to lift this weight, 30 times to have a giant bicep. If that works for you, by all means. But for me, it's like, what skill can you do with your fitness? Like, how have you leveled up in the gym to apply that to the world?
Right.
Now, you're part of an elite group. There are only so many people who can say they are bona fide Power Rangers. And in my book, the Red Ranger is always like the pinnacle of Power Rangers. I don't know if there's a hierarchy on set, but in my eyes, like it's like the Red Ranger is like, maybe it's just we were conditioned for Mighty Morphin way back with the Red Ranger leader.
For sure.
What was it like being part of such a special group, and how has it changed your life? Meeting fans and whatnot.
Well, again, like I grew up like. I was, as much as I love Star Wars, I was in it with Power Rangers. Like I went to Power Morphicon before I was a Power Ranger. I collected the toys and have friends stay over in the evenings, and we'd have like make all the Megazord parties and things like that. So that was totally my jam. I had the Super Nintendo game. I had a green Power Ranger come to my birthday party when I was a kid. So definitely like becoming one it's one of those things like you don't think's ever going to happen. It's just like, oh, it's cool, Halloween. Then you actually become one. Now I've met a lot of the Rangers that I grew up watching. It's just like, man, it's such a blessing. But the fans are great. They're super supportive. And I was scared that like I wouldn't give enough to the fandom. Like, what if they don't like me? And, I am part of the fandom and I want, them to like, because I like what they like. And so overall, like they've been super, super receptive. Sometimes you get messages from people like, oh, he looks like a, too much of a pretty boy. He can't be the Red Ranger or whatever. Like,
wearing a helmet.
Yeah, right?
Now, you had mentioned that you met a lot of the Rangers. We won't ask you for the reverse, but who is the favorite Ranger that you met? Is there one that stands out above the others?
I mean, they're all great in their own ways, but like Johnny Young Bosch, I love him because even outside of Power Rangers, he's done so much that I want to do one day. Like he played Adam, the Black Ranger, if you're not familiar with him, after Walter Jones, who was, the first Black Ranger. So just like he played multiple Power Rangers. He became a huge voiceover actor. So he was like the voice of Ash the Stampede. He's in Demon Slayer, obviously the English versions. He's the voice of Ichigo in Bleach. I think he's the voice of some people in Digimon, and he's even the voice of like one of the assist trophies in Super Smash Brothers. Like he is just doing what I want to do, and it's just so cool meeting him. And he's super kind and super down to earth, and he let me do a handstand on him last year at a convention, so that's always a plus.
Nice. Do you go to the club and you're like, dude, Red Ranger, just let me in?
I've seen people pull that card though from other Rangers. But no, clubbing's not even my thing, so I haven't done that. But sometimes, like if I'm with friends, they'll be like, "My friend's Power Ranger," like, "Oh, prove it, do a backflip," and I'm like, "Okay." Just inspiration through perspiration. So.
You don't just wear your helmet even when you're driving your car and on your motorcycle, and you're just like, dude, check this out.
It crossed my mind during the pandemic, like instead of a mask, just to have my helmet on. Like, but it's really hard to see after a while. They fog up.
Sure.
Unless you like apply something, and they're not fun to breathe through. So I haven't actually
Can only
worn it,
imagine.
but in public anyway. But occasionally, like I'll don the suit. You know, maybe in a future YouTube video of mine, because like I'm on YouTube as well now. You may see a special me wearing my spandex coming up. So
Nice.
Awesome.
Did you take anything from the set? Like, I'm just gonna keep this. No one's gonna worry about it.
I took one thing, but they gave us 10 things. Like they gave us 10 items from our wardrobe that they let us choose. So I kept my Energem, I kept my bracelet from the show, some of the like my jacket that basically was like Back to the Future, the red puffer jacket my character had, boots, pants. But I took a dino charger, and it was kind of like given to me, like kind of shh, be quiet, like not officially given. And I took it to a friend's birthday party for his kid because he's like, oh, my kid's a huge Power Ranger fan. Do you mind coming as the Ranger? I was like, sure. So I went and I was like, hey, do you want to hold the Dino Charger for the picture? And the kid's like 4, and he's like, yeah. And he took the picture with me and the Dino Charger, and then he ran off with the Dino Charger. And I was like, well, I can't just like take it from him on his birthday. So I ended up letting him keep it. So that just taught me to not take things, because then they get taken from you.
Right.
So to know people who see you at conventions, if he hands you something, it's yours if you just run away with it.
Yeah, essentially.
Wallet,
I need run after you. If you're over the ages of 9, I will chase you down.
Sure. No, that's great. We had some fun questions on Twitter. There was one from @CommonRiderYoshi. Now, by the way, real quick, you mentioned Kamen Rider earlier, and one of our social channels is Team Rider US, and we're big advocates of bringing Kamen Rider over here to the US and get everyone excited. And the community is absolutely amazing. They're some of the nicest human beings on the planet. We do meetups at different conventions. So this is actually from that channel. So Kamen Rider, @CommonRiderYoshi says, so did you or any other Dino Charge actor wonder what they sounded like in other languages? I grew up watching Power Rangers in French, so now that I watch it in English, it feels weird.
Fair enough. Yes, actually, when I went to my first San Diego Comic-Con, I think it was the first one, while I was still like under the contract of Dino Charge, they actually showed us the clip from Mexico, like us dubbed in Spanish. And it was really cool because like the person they had voicing me had a similar voice, just speaking Spanish. So it was just kind of like, huh, that's trippy. But it was a neat experience to hear yourself, or not you, but see you act to someone else's voice.
Right, not sound. It's like, so everyone's like, is that what I sound like? And for your instance, like, no, that's not what I sound like.
Yeah, right. I know. But
now
yeah,
I imagine that all you Rangers are in like a massive like group text message and stuff like that. So you know, I'd like to peek in on that. Now, is there anyone from not from your show, but from other shows that you keep in touch with regularly?
Not from my show. I talk with Ciara occasionally from Megaforce. Azim, like like when we go to conventions, like we like to hang out a lot. But I live far from LA, so I'm not like seeing people all the time. But the Beast Morpher cast, love them. I've been staying in contact, like again, like a group text or Instagram messaging. So I'm in some with them. Like my own group text with my cast is Taste the Rainbow. That's what it's called. And so it's just kind of fun to go in there and send each other messages occasionally.
That's cool. Let's see here. At our New World 1 says, what's your favorite season that isn't Dino Charge or Dino Supercharge?
I mean, favorite. Okay, if we're not going to go like Mighty Morphin because nostalgia's sake, because I love Mighty Morphin, but probably Time Force. And In Space was really good. I need to rewatch it, but I remember the impact it made on me was very positive. So probably one of those.
Sure. No, that's great. I have another one here from Bud Callahan that says, what is the best memory that you have from being on set?
Best memory. Honestly, it's hard. Like sometimes I'll try to answer this and be like, oh, episode blah, blah, blah. But honestly, days kind of blurred into each other because you'd be on set for, anywhere between like 12 to 16 hours, try to work out really quick at home, pass out, wake up, get picked up at 5 a.m. and repeat the process. And I didn't drink caffeine at the time, like anything, no coffee. So I was like chronically tired. But just, I loved New Zealand. I loved the cast and the crew and just being able to make this, and we just wanted to uplift each other and make it the best season we could. And of course, we're not in charge of like every aspect. Some fans liked our finale, some didn't, but at least with what I was given, the mantle we were given, we tried to make the most of it. So hopefully that came across to the fans.
Sure. That's always tricky, especially when a show's ending. Something like Lost or Sopranos or Game of Thrones. The whole world's tuned in, and it's not going to meet everyone's expectations. And I'm just, as an actor, and that you've given it all, and that finale happens, do you go to social media and see what people thought, or do you just kind of stay off of it and just kind of wait it out?
I like to know what people think, like, just because I get asked these questions anyway at conventions, so it's going to come around regardless. But I'm not one of those people who let toxicity, if there is any, to like drain me, because acting is not who I am. It's not what I base my identity off of. Like, I am an actor, but an actor is just a part of me. It's not like I only feel alive when I'm in front of a crowd. Like, I love that energy, but like my identity is not connected to my job. So I know some actors have a hard time separating the two, which is why, like, when they're not working consistently, a lot of them can get really down on themselves. And I just hope that they realize, like, they're loved, they're a good person, they can be great even if they're not working actively on shows, because we book like 0.01% of the auditions we go on. Like, I booked Power Rangers, fantastic, but I auditioned for Twilight, I auditioned for Maze Runner, I auditioned for Cisco and The Flash, I auditioned for Arrow. I've been auditioning for so many shows, and I 99.9% of the time don't get the job. So.
Right. No, that's intense, man. You gotta have some thick skin for something like that, or a Power Rangers helmet.
Or a
That's
Power
right.
Rangers.
Yeah, spandex. More tight. Let's go.
Protect you from anything.
2GG Quan on Twitch asked, you had mentioned the Taste the Rainbow messaging. He's asked, how did it become Taste the Rainbow?
Basically, because my season had 10 Rangers and we're like every color in the rainbow. So I think Yoshi was the one who ended up naming it as the group text, and then it just kind of stuck. So we became Taste the Rainbow. Because like Skittles is Taste the Rainbow.
Right. When was the last time you got a text in that group? Was it recently?
Quite a while at this point, because since Instagram became bigger, we just messaged like more through that. But the Taste the Rainbow still exists for when we really want to send it to everyone.
After we're done, you should hit up the old Taste the Rainbow messaging board there.
See where everyone's at these days.
Make sure everyone's safe and
check
healthy.
on everyone. Yeah.
Come check in. We had a YouTube question as well. Would you like to be cast as Tyler, but with a new Ranger color? Example, like being a mentor like Tommy in Dino Thunder.
That would be great. I mean, if the opportunity presented itself, I would totally be down to come back. But I don't want to steal something from another person. Like, if they have someone in mind for a new role without like a mentor, by all means, cast someone new. I had my time. It's a blast. It's fun. I would love to do it again. It's a great job. But like, I'm not someone who needs to like be the center of attention at all times. Like, it's okay. I've had my time. If someone else gets it, there are other roles in other genres and shows that I'd be happy to do as well. As long as I can work, like pay the bills, I'm good.
Right. Now, I saw in your some of your credits there was some stunt work done. Is that something that you like doing, or is that something you want to keep doing?
Honestly, like, the way when people are like, what do you do for a living? That I don't even know what to say. Like, oh, I'm a personal trainer, I'm an actor, I'm a yoga instructor, I do everything. No, I don't. I don't play an instrument, unfortunately. But yet, basically, I am a performer. That is what I have decided to divulge all my different titles into. I perform, whether it's acrobatics, whether it's acting, whether it's stunt performing, because all three kind of can borrow from each other depending on the role anyway. Speaking of Kamen Riders, do you know who Matt Mullins is? He was in Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, the American adaptation with Steven. I actually worked with him on Penny Dreadful City of Angels in one of the episodes doing stunts. So it's just kind of cool, like small world, how you meet people from other things. And I'm just happy to work. Like, if I do stunt work, great, because it's still acting. If I act, like in Power Rangers, it let me do some action stunty stuff occasionally. So it just really depends on whatever it is. I just give it my all, and hopefully the audience likes it.
No, that's fantastic.
Amy Ann Ward has your back, Justin. She says, if they didn't intend for you to whole sleeve of Girl Scout cookies, they'd make them resealable.
Right.
So the fact that they're not resealable means it's a one-time snack.
And they're not even that big, and the sleeves are all small and stupid. And so
now
it's
he's
like,
justifying.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you for my single-serving Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
No, Brendan,
Serving
how many?
Size, half a cookie.
Appreciate that. Good looking out.
How many action figures of Tyler do you have? How many Red Ranger figures do you have, or collectibles, or is there anything special not so much prop wise, but collectible wise, that you were given, that you purchased, that you like to give as gifts?
Sure. I have 2 Power Ranger helmets. So I have my traditional Red Ranger helmet. My character actually has 3 different helmets in my season. There's the Dino Super Drive, which is like black mask instead of silver, and it has like silver streaks going across it. And then there's the Dino Supercharge, which has like that spiked mohawk thing.
Right.
I don't have that helmet, but I have the 2 others. And then I bought the Dino Charger case of all the Chargers from Japan, the die-cast metal ones. So that was like a personal splurge because I just thought they were cool. What else? Toy-wise, I have like a couple of the different action figures of myself, just like the standard ones. And I have some of the Lightning figures. I have like 1 in the box, 1 out of the box. And then I have extra spares because like when it first came out, I didn't know how many to buy, so I just bought a whole bunch of them. So now they just kind of sit in my garage and stare at each other in darkness. But what can you do?
Nice.
I've seen an upcoming video where they're just like sadly singing to each other.
Right?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, friends. Yep.
Totally. Now you obviously keep really busy with your fitness. Now you're going back to school. When you are like you're constantly working as you like to do. Is there times when just the working out and the yoga just isn't enough, and you need to actually detox and actually go somewhere? Do you have like a go-to spot to recoup and re-energize?
Honestly, like working out is my sanctuary in a sense. It doesn't really matter where I do it as long as I get to do it. So going upside down in handstands is like the biggest thing to me. I don't even know why I like them so much,
Sure.
but it just kind of like, it opens so many doors. Like that's how I got to yoga, because I was hand balancing and a yoga instructor was like, hey, that's cool. Do you want to teach that on my website? And then I got certified as a yoga instructor. And then I did hand balancing in my Power Ranger auditions for special skills. And then I hand balanced in an episode of Dino Charge. And then like I did hand balancing, and then someone from like some big company saw me and invited me to some after party where I met. Like it just always opens doors because I didn't try to become someone else. I just did what appealed to me.
Sure.
And I ran with it. And no one, like, why would handstands even matter? Like it's such a pointless kind of skill, but it teaches you so much discipline to like, no one understands until they try how truly difficult it is to balance on 2 hands, let alone 1 arm, let alone head balancing that I do now. And it just makes everything else in life, like if I can do that, I could definitely do A, B, and C. So it just kind of sets the groundwork for me.
I think we could do handstands if we had wires and spotters and kind of nice
100%.
words of encouragement.
I can do it in the pool.
There you
For
go.
a second.
Space, Kickstarter, again.
There we go. Space. We got to do it, man.
Yeah, maybe. You have to hold my legs up. I still don't think I can do it.
I could do it. I got Girl Scout cookie strength.
This is true.
I did put you on my shoulders one time at Comic-Con.
That is true. It was terrifying. And Dave is tall. He's like 6'4", and so it was a miraculous thing that it even worked out. But the scary part was coming back down. Once I was up there, it was fine. But the coming down part was the worst.
There's a trick to it, learning curve.
Shrieking. I was terrified. It was awful.
Well, I'm glad you lived to see another day.
Yes, I got better. I survived. You know.
There was an audible eek and a sound that I'd never heard a human make before, but we pulled through.
It was terrible. Oh man! So back to the circus really fast. I always think of like the flying Graysons and the removal of the net and horrible things happening. Were there ever any times where you were just like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this ridiculous stunt?
Yeah, I mean, so I did a commercial one time, and I was like on the back lot of Paramount, I believe, and the audition was like, just pretend you're walking up to a trapeze bar, and then you get nervous because something doesn't work or whatever, so you don't grab the bar. That was the audition. Like, I didn't even do anything. In the actual commercial that I booked, they wanted me to climb like a aerial silk, like the ribbon, and it was connected to a crane, and then they lifted the bottom of the ribbon like off the floor, and they put like one of those little rock climbing mats under me, and it was super windy because we were between like 2 fake streets like in the back lot, and it was making a wind tunnel that day. And since I was up on the ribbon, I couldn't even like come down until the crane lowered me down because we were so high off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just freaky to me because I had like no belts or harness. Like if I fell and like I would have died or broken my leg or something, because the itty bitty mat wasn't going to save me because I kept doing this because of the wind. So that was probably the scariest circus thing I've ever done. But and then I'd even get residuals because you have to be recognizable in a commercial for like half a second, and you couldn't see me because they shot like way far away. So I got like paid for the day, and that was it. So.
Oh man, that's
Clearly
brutal.
no union rep on set that day.
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
guess not. I don't know. They didn't care about little of me.
With Power Rangers, now, so safety is obviously a big concern for you. Was there ever any moments when you were filming where you were like, I don't know if this is a good idea, or did you always feel pretty safe on set with what they had you do?
Power Rangers, they were so seasoned with what they did because, I mean, it's like a rinse and repeat. The stunt team is solid. Like, some of them have been working, like, on Super Sentai, and then they've been in the Power Ranger world for, like, over a decade or longer for some of them. So I never really felt like they were always ready to step in. Like, if I didn't feel comfortable doing something, they would just offer to do it. But they gave me the opportunity often for the civilian fights. Like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this stunt? Do you want to flip here? They would always offer us pads if we wanted them. And even if I didn't want them, they'd be like, please pad up. Okay, yeah. So
we got the insurance guy over there. Why don't you just go ahead and pad up? Yeah.
No.
You get hurt, we got to close down, and everyone's got to go home for the day.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, no, we were good. I mean, the first fiery explosion that launched behind us, like, because that's real. Like, they don't superimpose the fire. They actually put charges in the floor, and then you have to, like, hit your pose and, like, so that was just, like, cool. It didn't scare me. Like, I'm more the guy, like, there's a building on fire. I literally will want to go run in and save someone if I can. So, like, that's just my personality.
Sure. You're a Power Ranger. You have to, right?
Yeah, you know, like, I wasn't acting. I was just being me every day.
Yeah, you don't want to see the newspaper article like Red Ranger refuses to save anyone. Right. 5 orphans die.
That would be awful.
The younglings. No, I would have
Yeah.
All comes back.
I'm ready.
To the younglings.
Let's go.
Yeah. No, that's great. Do you have any more questions, Dave, from the live stream?
No, thank you so much for all your time, Brandon. Was there anything we didn't bring up that you want to bring up? You want to promote anything? Anything you got?
I mean, at the moment, like, I can't audition really. Like, I get a couple self-tapes, but because of the lockdown, there's just, like, nothing. So, I mean, Penny Dreadful City of Angels, I'm in a couple episodes doing stunts, so you might spot me in that. But on Snapchat, I'm in Dead Girls Detective Agency for 2 seasons, season 3 and 4. Then it's really just YouTube. I'm really trying to push that right now. So Brennan Mejia on YouTube. I do live stream workouts Mondays and Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Pacific time. People want to join me for 20-minute workouts, and then I just post other videos like once a week.
Nice. I can commit to 2 minutes of the 20.
Hey, you know,
and they might not be in a row.
We'll build that discipline we were talking about.
Okay, there we go. That's
1 minute and then a 10-minute rest and then a second minute.
Yeah, I'll hard charge that final minute.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'll take it. You know, every step counts.
Are you binge watching anything right now with the current state of affairs?
I watch anime more than normal shows, to be honest. So,
anything in particular?
Right now, I'm switching between Bleach because I kind of fell off after 4 seasons. It's like 15 seasons long.
Right.
So I jumped back into Bleach. I watch Black Clover, a certain magical index here and there. I liked Fire Force, and I love Demon Slayer, but it's off right now.
Right.
Yeah, so I just kind of bounce around Crunchyroll or Funimation and just whatever I'm feeling that day, or Friends. I binge watched Lelouch of the Rebellion. Like, it's a fairly old one, but I never knew it, and it's amazing. It's like Death Note on crack, like how crazy it is. So definitely recommend if you're into like this crazy strategic kind of anime.
Sure. No, that's great. Well, cool. Dave, you want to take us out?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you, Brendan, for being with us today. Make sure everyone goes to bluefinbrands.com. We're having a Star Wars sale right now. Doing a lot of promotions and giveaways, as part of Star Wars Week. May the 4th wasn't enough. We got Revenge of the 5th, and then luckily 5th and 6th rhyme, so we can have Revenge of the 6th tomorrow, and then all week long. Make sure you follow Brendan on all social platforms. They're linked up here somewhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. You can get those workouts in. So Brendan, thank you so much again, and have a great rest of your time, and make sure you're staying safe.
Likewise, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey.